What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between? I don't have the microphone attached to my camera. Fuck! What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, and welcome to one of the final videos of the year. My god, I look so fucking scrawny. Ugh. So, 2019. What a year this has been. Like, I've had ups, I've had downs, I've had breakdowns, I've had meltdowns, I've had cockdowns. It's been a year. There was me going to my first ever Pride, getting my first ever piercings, getting my first ever tattoo. I got more piercings. I went to other Prides. I got to see one of my friends for the first time in a long time in our relationship, and I got to see him perform in an amazing play. And then I got sicky and couldn't see him in another thing I really wanted to see him in, which was sucky. I found out I'm HIV positive, which is... And yeah, there were a lot of ups and downs this year. But one thing that some people watching definitely already are intimately familiar with, might have an inkling of, or just, might have noticed a subtle trend. There has also been one very long, outstretched issue in my life this year. And I discussed it vaguely in a number of videos. And over the past year, about 16 videos I made have related to one specific issue in my life over this year. But in order to talk about this big issue, I kind of have to go back into the year before, 2018, which is when all of the stuff that sort of defined what happened this year happened. A thing about me is I'm an immense empath. I always try to find out why someone is doing something the way they're doing. I try to figure out what's making them tick. I try to understand them and sympathize with them, and I did that with these people for a long time. And when it was me getting all the stuff, I was able to talk it away and be okay with it. And then they started doing shit to other people, and that's when I finally, flipped my lid and had enough of defending and protecting someone who frankly doesn't deserve it. Full disclaimer, there will be no names mentioned. Any representation to people in the real world is, of course, coincidental, and everything said here, as I do not have much of a paper trail or evidence, is totally alleged. So, yeah, I'm going to be as frank and honest as I want to be in this video, and if anyone wants to come at me, sorry, this is just a little story time, and I didn't mention any of your names at all. So, yeah, come at me, bruh. To start out this story, I had one friend dating all the way back to 2015, 14-15, in between there. So, this guy, along with one other friend of mine, Steven, y'all know him, one of the best people in my life. This other guy, though, was literally one of the first people I ever let be my friend, outside of elementary school stuff where you're making friends because you kind of have to. But yeah, these two people were some of the first I ever really let into my life in a very dark and closed off period. I welcomed them, I let them in, I accepted them, and they taught me a lot, and they helped me develop and helped me learn to trust, helped me to grow. So basically what happened is in 2014 really, we had started talking more, started hanging out, started developing a bit of a social thing. And he at one point just approached me and was like, hey, you know what? You should train me in the gym. And I thought, okay, that'll be cool. Yeah, I'll train you in the gym. Awesome. And I did. And it was good. It was fun. It was nice stuff. We started going regularly. I was never sure during that stage if it was like he was trying to get with me or if it was a friendship thing, but it did sort of evolve and boundaries sort of settled and it just turned into like friends. Then at one point in, I'm pretty sure mid 2015 or whatever, he decided to go ahead and, you know, go off. He would always like tell me when there was some guy in town who might be gay, and I forgot about this. He told me about a time he almost broke his back getting a big black dick, cause he was like, if I was gonna do it, I was gonna go big. Who was his boyfriend at this point? Just random message out of first message of the day. Just him going, my boyfriend dried my cock a couple hours ago. Oh, when was this? 2015. He was buying his boyfriend a ring. Which boyfriend? We were friends 2014, 2015. Went to the gym a lot. We're like, not besties, because I was still like social recluse and like really straining to actually like get to hang out with him at all. In fact, I think we hung out outside of the gym, or maybe just like sitting in his car and scrolling through Grindr together. That was like the extent of things. But we had a great, awesome little friendship all that time. And then he was moving away, coming back, moving away, coming back. And then one of those times he comes back with a boyfriend. And like, during that time he had switched accounts, which is why I still have this one, because like he stopped using it. And yeah. Then, next thing I know, he's back on Facebook, talking to me again, and like we resume our friendship a bit. I start trying to become more friendly with his boyfriend because, you know, perfectly respectable, honest, nice thing to do. You want to make friends with your people. It's going well. It seems like it's going well. And like flash forward to 2017 about, the shitface dies, and funnily enough, within like a few weeks of him dying, I finally land a job at my current place, which is where this guy also works. And so, yeah, we start seeing a whole lot more of each other consistently. And that was awesome and fun and amazing. And then, of course, I started talking more to his boyfriend. We started getting more chummy, started like, you know, mingling together, because friends, we, you know, it's how it works. And so the Austin thing happened in 2018. This is the guy who set me up with Austin. So that happened, and his boyfriend was like supportive-ish, but like also did a weird thing where he was like, so you're not gonna like take my advice that I just gave you? Like, I told you what to do and you're not gonna do exactly what I told you to do? Yeah, I'm through with you. You're out. Like, okay, I am mildly simplifying now. I'm definitely a venter. Like, sometimes I'm still gonna do my own thing. I'm not really looking for advice, but I just want to vent out stuff. And apparently he didn't like that. So with the whole Austin thing, like, he kicked me out. That was something that fed a huge super depression because I really liked him. I thought he was a great person. I thought we connected a lot. I thought we were simpatico. But yeah, he with Austin. So I lost Austin. I lost this good friend, and it was all really painful and awkward. And then he like came around, not apologized, but like gave me a second chance type thing. We went back to our friendship, and in fact I think our friendship was even stronger after this. Like, we were hanging out more. We started playing Mario Karts together, started hanging out at his house. Like, it was all really nice, trusty, fun, amazing, cool, awesome stuff. I liked it. He came over to get a DVD. I've talked about this like coded in other videos of mine. And he came over to get a movie that he wanted to see, and when he came over to get that movie, he flashed his cock at me. Oh, hello there. Nice, yeah. Alright, put that away. No. Was like really aggressively trying to get me involved, and I told him, nope, not gonna happen. And full disclaimer, I did touch it because I was trying to get him to put his damn shorts back on, and that kind of got involved in that. But nope, I shut him down. He went away, he apologized, and then he texted me on Snapchat, of course, which is one of the main reasons I do not have receipts, which sucks. But yeah, he texted me on Snapchat like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I don't know what came over me. I was on... Did he say he was on something? He might have said he was drinking a little bit. I can't remember, but he definitely was parsing the blame, not taking it full on. So I remember that, and then things go on. I'm like, just make sure it doesn't happen again. It's cool. Like, what, you had a weird moment. Things go on. It's a little bit normal. Yeah, it's cool. Everything's sort of like going back to where it was. And then he makes another advance. And again, I shut it down. And we kind of go back to normal again. Then he makes another advance. And it's like, we have game nights where it's normal, we have times where we hang out where it's normal, and then we have a few of these ones where he is making an advance of some kind. They get progressively more aggressive. At one point he wanted to masturbate in front of me. At one of the points he was like literally bringing lube, and I had to like grab it and like throw the bottle across the room where he couldn't get it, just so like, you know, he wouldn't keep pushing for that. And at one point I was like, and honestly, like I say, my videos correlate. This is when I made my video about polyamorous relationships. I told him, why not talk to your, you know, significant other about this type of thing. Being open, being poly, being something like this, because then you could actually look for this stuff that you're trying to get here, but it won't be like cheating. It won't be doing something bad. It won't be any of that. And he basically said right off the bat, yeah, he is never going to go for that. No. We go back into our cycle, and again, the coming on becomes a little bit progressively more aggressive each time, but like, I already lost this guy once, and I honestly did not want to lose his friendship again, because I really valued him as a friend, and like, when he wasn't trying to assault me, he was a really good person. I know that sounds so stupid right now, but like, in the time, it made a sort of weird sense. But yeah, like, we keep going progressively, then it hits like the ultimate thing. He starts like holding me down, pinning me down. Like, we were always wrestling, roughhousing and such, but usually staying innocent. And at this point, he started using that stuff as a way to nudge into the stuff, and it was turning into like dry humping and like aggressive, and like at one point he was just like, I'm just gonna show you the stuff we would do if we could do it. You know, we're not doing anything. And weirdly enough, that actually made a sort of logic to me. Like, again, like, I didn't want him, like, actually cheating on his boyfriend, and I thought, like, maybe this is just some sort of, like, he's not actually doing anything, so he'll get it out of his system, and, but again, like, I was in a confused, fucked up, and fragile space here, because I was scared of losing a friend, losing two friends, because I bet if I lost one, I was going to lose the other, and turned out I was right. I was definitely, like, trying to find a way to make this stuff all okay in my head, and that got to a problem. So then they ended up, like, moving, not out of town, I wish. They ended up moving, and I was helping, and the whole time we were moving stuff from one place to the next, he was like, any chance, like, there were three of us there, like, not me and him and his, but me, him, and someone else. So we were all together, like, moving the stuff out, and anytime it was just me and him, he would have to say something, just, I want to fuck you so bad, and just the things that he want, all this blah blah, and I just kept, this is getting, like, way over the top, okay, right, now you need to stop, alright, I will cut you off if you don't stop this. And for that one time, he actually, like, apologized a lot, like, more than the other times. The other times he was just like, yeah, sorry, like, I don't know what came over me. The same words. This time he got more into depth. He, like, talked. He, like, tried to semi-reason and just put a little bit more effort into making it okay. The next time we hung out was normal. He showed me the house. They hadn't set up the bedroom yet, which is relevant. We have our little fun. We have none of the naughty stuff. But then, you know, I come over, and he's like, Cody, you should check something out. Like, I got this awesome present. It's in the bedroom. I'm like, which pisses me off. I had the inkling that something was off. I had the inkling, but I didn't do anything about it. So he was like, come on, Cody, it's in the bedroom. You have to see it. And I'm like, all right, but behave yourself. And I've talked about this in my video about rape, and I still hate saying that word because okay, coercion is rape, and if anyone else was in that scenario, I would tell them it was rape, but again, it is so different when you're the person there and with what came afterwards. But I'm just going to get through the story progressively. Come on, Cody. So, yeah, he invites me into the bedroom to look at what turns out to be this LED USB cord. Like, it's all shiny up and down the cord. And not going to lie, I legitimately thought that thing was awesome. But then he reverted to old form and used the opportunity of me being in there to push me on the bed, jump on top, pin me down, like hold me down. I was trying to get him off, like, come on, stop it. And then he decided to try and kiss me. And I was trying to push him, trying to hold him off. It was getting more aggressive. It was getting more of a struggle. I was getting more panicked. And in my head was flashing every single possibility of what we could end up happening. I could somehow find a way to actually get him off me because, okay, I have never wrestled or roughhoused at all until I started being friends with him and this stuff happened. This is something he has done all his life. So he's smaller than me. He's skinnier than me. Maybe not now because I have lost mass. I need to get back in the gym. But smaller than me, all that, but he has the muscle memory on how to do this stuff and how to do it right, whereas I have no clue whatsoever. So he was able to hold me down on that bed very successfully. I was thinking, what if I say no enough times and he lets me go? Is he really gonna, like, try again? Is he gonna, like, be sick of me? Is he not gonna trust me because I know this about him now and he thinks I'm gonna tell on him? So is he gonna unfriend me? I went through all these possibilities. I thought, if he does get rid of me, or if I get rid of him, or if something happens, is he going to try and cheat again? Is he going to try to do this to someone else, pin them down, hold them? And if he does that to someone else, how will they react? I had all this stuff pounding through my head. And at the same time, it's like, I just don't want to lose him as a friend. And, like, yeah, that was really, really strong and really, really stupid, but I was already hurting. I thought I couldn't get more hurt that year than I had already been. And I didn't want to go through that again. So all this stuff racing through my head, and somehow I landed on the conclusion that just let him do it. Just let it happen. Because if it happens, he'll get it out of his system. Once again, that was my thought. He'll get it out of his system. You're going to try to keep him safe. You're going to try to make sure he can talk about this, make sure he can resolve it healthily, make sure that he can actually have a conversation. You're going to be able there to support him and push him. So I just said, fuck it, literally. The first words out of my mouth, other than no and stop, was just, fuck it. He kissed me. He put his cock in my mouth. He fucked me. No lube. No stretching. No poppers. That was a fucking painful night. Like, honestly, they're lucky they don't have a lot of neighbors, because that could have been a 911 call. Like, it was brutal. Not like vicious, violent, brutal, but just like the way that sex, when you're totally unprepared and have no flexibility with it, happens. But yeah, that sex happened. He felt real bad afterwards. He was sort of like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. But I was like, well, and I looked him in the face and I said, look, if you get these urges again, just make sure you come to me first. Because I'd already thought about all this shit, and I felt like if he tries to do this crap with someone else is not going to be okay with this. Someone else is going to call the fucking cops. Someone else is going to call his workplace. Someone else is going to, like, try to get him in trouble. And I didn't want that to happen because I really, really cared about him. So, yeah, I think, okay, so he got this out of his system. It'll be fine. But just in case, so, like, when we started hanging out after this, I douched. I wore the right stuff. thinking that maybe this was going to happen again. Sometimes it didn't, most times it did. I have a weird recollection of a fourth one. So like we had some other random fox, and then he did one really long, intense, every position he could think of night, because he wanted to make it the last one and officially call it quits and all that. I have some vague recollection of there maybe being a fourth time, because I remember him saying we didn't do this the last time, so it doesn't count. But I don't know if it was sex, I don't know if it was just oral, I can't remember, but I just remember him saying something like that after that last time, so. And then we had like a string of oral going on, and then it turned into just basically hand jobs or assistants, and then it finally officially cut off. We went to being friends. Well, sorta. Like, it got rough. He was like way more terse with me, way more cold, both in and out of the workplace. But it was cool. It was manageable. I could deal with it. And he did say that, he didn't want to hang out too much because he was worried about being able to control himself. And then I said, I thought you said that you got this out of your system. He's like, I have, as long as you're not around. Which is a repeated problem with him, where he thinks that if you just avoid something, you're solving the problem. Whereas, you're just like putting it on hold. You're not actually dealing with anything. We're being more distant friends. We're like play games online more than at their place. And then in February, they break up. And at the time, he's the first one I hear it from, and he gives me his side of things. I tell him he doesn't have to give me details until he feels comfortable, because he's being very heartbroken. He's crying, he's upset, he's depressed, he's like in tears. He needs money right away, so I had to buy a camera off him for $250, and it wasn't really worth that much. But I'm helping out a friend. Or was it 200? I think it was like 200. Still not worth that much. It was a shitty camera. It had very slow autofocus. It's nothing like a Sony. And I end up like supporting him, helping him over the few days. And yeah. He gets really, really depressed at one point. Like, I go over to give him some stuff. Some stuff is like a pre-Valentine's sort of friend gift. Like a bunch of things I knew he liked, all this stuff, just to like cheer him up a bit. And when I saw him that day, he looked like defeated. Then I find out they get back together, but of course during that whole breakup thing, I had developed feelings for him. So then they get back together. And I have feelings. And I never got to say anything, because I was not going to say anything about those feelings until there had been sufficient healing time. So I had all this in here, never got a chance of getting it out. I got very depressed. I got like borderline suicidal. And then I was like, I gotta talk to someone. So who do I go to? I go to my friend. And I tell him like, okay, so while you guys were broken up, I kind of developed feelings for your boyfriend. And like, okay, he was a little bit pissed. He was like a little bit betrayed. But he said ultimately he understood. And I never told him about the affair. I never told him about any of that stuff, because at this point I was still protecting his boyfriend as a friend, as someone who I thought deserved respect and my help and affection and all this, and needed that stuff to be approached with positivity, not this guy is a cheating scumbag hoe. My friend said to me, funnily enough, that I don't care I don't care if he falls in love with someone. I don't care if he like wants to fuck around with someone, because I know at the end of the day he's coming home to me. So, and that stuck with me, because I literally told him to talk to him about that, and he said he was never going to go for it. And then I hear that. Oh yeah, they get back together, and then they break up again. And they break up like really quickly. And so I try to message the boyfriend saying like, hey, I'm going to be here to support you, going to be here for you. And then he messaged me back saying, I'm disgusted and disappointed by what you just did. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be friends with you anymore. And then he blocks me on everything. And once again, I'm heartbroken. And I'm trying to figure out what I did, and like, what? Is it because I developed feelings for you? while you were broken up, while you were single, while you, like, what? And you, what? And, cause you, and with, and I was, but me having genuine positive emotional feelings towards you that I wasn't going to act on, that I wasn't making any expectations with, that's the disgusting, disappointing thing. So they break up. And then they get back together. And then they break up again. And then they get back together. And during all of this like back and forth thing that happens over the course of like less than a month, like my friend, he's like, I can't hang out with you because he's not going to like it. Then they break up. We should hang out. We should go to the gym. We should like have some time together. It's been a while. They get back together. Yeah, I can't see you anymore. I'm going to have to block you because that's what he wants. And I'm getting more progressively pissed off because I'm trying to protect this fucking little asshole. I'm trying to be there for my friend, but I'm like, because I can't actually do anything because they're like blocking me out of their lives or semi-blocking me out of their lives, or it's. And then at one point, I like reach out to him. I'm like, they break up again. I reach out to him. I'm like, come on, dude. So like, if you guys are officially broken up this time, why don't we just try being friends again? Because like, all the stuff that made you not want to hang around me, not want to trust yourself around me, like, if you're broken up, that's gone. It's like, you're right. We'll try being friends again. We have a little bit of talk, and then they get back together, and he blocks me out of everything again. So I was like, okay, this is the last time. I'm not going through this again. And if I'm not going through this again, I need to make sure someone can deal with his problems. Someone can deal with his issues. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to have to tell his boyfriend, the stuff that he's dealing with, the stuff that he's done, because that's the only way he's going to get any help from it, because he won't let me be there for him, and I'm holding this stuff as secrets. So I'm going to tell you all this stuff. You cannot use it as a reason to break up with him. You cannot use it as a reason to hate him. You have to help him and support him and be able to get him to talk about it. So first of all, and I told him about some other stuff, like I'm not going into that because it's irrelevant. But I told him some other stuff too. And then I brought it up to, and yeah, the one other thing you need to know about is that he, actually I literally what I did when I messaged him about the affair is I told him the whole story from beginning to ending, just like I did with you guys. He asked questions. He wanted to make sure he got the information he needed. And he did. And yeah. Obviously, the boyfriend finds out that I texted him all this. He comes over to me in the middle of work, is like, what the fuck did you just do? I was like, you're not going to let me help you. Someone has to. So I told him what needs to be told. And he's like, you ruined my life. I'm going to destroy your life. You better quit your job. And of course he rescinded that very quickly because employment stuff is difficult. So it was like, I want you to quit. I really suggest that you quit. And by the end of the day, it was like, yeah, you don't have to quit. I'm sorry I said that. Like, fuck. And, yeah. So, apparently I destroyed his life. Me and my friend hung out that night. We went to the gym. I thought, because the way he talked about it, he was upset, but he was going to go talk to him, see about things. And I don't know what I was expecting, but I was happy to have my friend back. I was happy that there was some semblance of normality here. And, I don't know what I was expecting. But then they got back together. They were going to work through it. Things were going to, continue on. He got him a car, so it had to be going pretty good. I mean, hey, you cheated on this dude, but this dude bought you a car, so there was a stretch of just nothing happening because I couldn't. Then I went to LA Pride. I had fun. I found out I was HIV positive. I love that for her. And I came back home. And I was feeling really good, really gung-ho, really fearless. And one of the great things is that I was no longer scared of this little bitch of an asshole boyfriend. And the stuff like him saying, I'm going to destroy your life. Like, honey, I have an incurable disease that's killing me slowly every day and it's going to end my life soon. So, what exactly are you going to do that's worse than that? Huh? That's what I thought, bitch. So, my balls all of a sudden swollen to enormous grandiosity. I made that video. People who made me proud to be gay this year. And I mentioned both of them in that video. And the friend decided to go ahead and comment on the video. Pretty sure I deleted that comment by now. I should. I did, yeah. That friend decided to go ahead and comment on the video. And that was when I texted him on this little spare phone. Like, this was like a hold up, well, in between my Note 3 and my Note 9. Yeah, that's a jump. Talk about... I whipped out this phone and was like, thank you for the comment, but also, I hate it. I hate it because it just reminded me of all the good stuff we used to have, all of our friendship, all of our happiness, all of this stuff, and it's pissing me off because we're not going to have that, are we? And, yeah, so he talked to me for a bit there. It was a weird conversation. And then he started asking me questions about the affair and such, and we talked about some more. And he said he wanted to, like, the way he phrased it was he wanted to get a clear image of it, because I had said things, and then the boyfriend had said it different ways, or denied certain things, or said certain things never happened, or they actually happened this way, and he wanted to get a clear image. And this is where his own little evil assholishness comes in, because he knew the spot I was in. I literally was like open as fuck about where I was. But he decided to go ahead and say, I need to decide if I have to be a friend or a boyfriend. Talk about emotional manipulation. Talk about, like, shooting low at someone who is already, like, allowing themselves to be weak with you, allowing themselves to be vulnerable, and then you go and do that. And again, looking back, all of this stuff felt so freaking logical. It felt like something could come out of it, but looking back, it is so obvious when I was being played and being treated for shit, and I'm pissed that I fell for this crap. I fall for it because, you know, I'm an adorable little fuck up like that. I have no brain. I have no common sense. So, yeah. I let him go ahead and play me like that. I went over to their place with the boyfriend who ratted me out in the car and told me that I'm not nothing. And I know he was trying to be, like, threatening and off-putting and all that, but all I could really do is, like, giggle because he was using double negatives and I want to correct his grammar. So we went over the whole story again, both of us together. And the funny thing is, he actually didn't deny a lot of the stuff, but for some reason the one thing he wanted to cling to denying was that he had never flashed me in the car that one time. The first thing that set all this off. That was the one thing he really adamantly wanted to deny. And I have no clue why. I have no clue what about that specific event was, like, something he wanted to not have happened, that he needed to not have happened. I tried to tell him some words of encouragement, something to get through to him, try to be positive. I don't think he really cared or paid attention to me because he's a fucking douchebag and all that. So my friend is taking me home, and while he's taking me home, he decides to tell me, you know, oh, by the way, you weren't even the only one. Yeah, there was another guy. And this is one of those things I wish I had known sooner, because in between our friendship and their breakup was a little space where he went out of town, the boyfriend. And during that time, it went from like us trying to rebuild our friendship, trying to repair it, trying to like get somewhere better. And he decided to say, yeah, you know what? I'm actually getting to a point where I don't miss our old friendship, and I don't think we're ever going to go back to that. And I was like, well, all right. I mean, if that's how you feel, then. And then, so it turns out, right at the time when he had said that to me, which I thought was like, okay, maybe he's like reevaluating things, maybe he's trying to get somewhere better. Turns out, right when he had sent me that, is when he was cheating with someone else. This wasn't a one-time either. He cheated with this guy at least 2 other times. But yeah, so my friend's casually just telling me about this other time that he cheated, and that he actually, found the guy that he cheated with, talked to him, took him out, got to know what had happened, got to get him to trust him, all that, and which I gotta be honest is low-key a power move. Like, I hate these 2 bastards with all my heart, but that was a fucking ballsy as fuck move, and you gotta respect that. And then he says, like, I'm sorry that I've been separating myself from you. I'm sorry about all this. I'm sorry, blah, blah. Things are going to be different, etc. I was like, alright, what the fuck? I'm going to believe you. Because, I don't know. And then within the next day, I asked him about something. He's like, yeah, I don't think my boyfriend's going to be okay with that. And then I get blocked on everything again. And I told him that time, I said, like, I'm fucking through. I am genuinely through, alright? Because I cannot deal with being manipulated by either of you, having my emotions played with. The one thing I need is some stability, some support, something other than just being cast aside and pulled in when I'm needed. I'm over it. So, fuck you. I hope that both of them enjoy being able to tell me what to do, being able to tell me off, being able to control me at work. Because it's the only time they're going to get to have any control of what I say, what I do, how I feel, and what I get to put on YouTube. I'm not going to go ahead and fully judge them, because maybe they're just staying together because of mutual toxic stupidity mixed with cultural bullshit. Because maybe they're just being together because they wanted to look right, because neither of them wants to admit that they fucked up and wasted 4 years of their life on someone who wasn't right for them, or someone who is a manipulative, emotionally immature scumbag shitheel with loyalty problems. I don't know. Maybe they've turned over a new leaf. Maybe they've grown. Maybe it was an experience they needed to become mature, full, developed people and have a happy, wonderful married life. Does anyone believe that? Do you believe that? I know. And that's the real tea. So yeah, this was the video, just laying out a little bit of toxicity for new year, new decade, new me, new life, new positivity. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. And remember, life only gets better as long as you work at it brick by brick and get rid of toxic bullshit idiots from your life and burn them in hell forever. I wish hell wasn't fiction. See you guys in the next video and the next year. Bye!